So guys, we are up in Cleveland at the International Exposition Center. We're in the parking lot, but we're not going to the IX Center itself. We are right by the airport. In fact, you may see some planes come in or take off. But we're headed to go stand into a line down here to board a shuttle bus to head over to the NASA Glenn Research Center. We're going to go take a tour of the NASA Center. This is something that only happens maybe every 25 years or so. This is the 75th anniversary, so a once in a lifetime type thing. And we're going to go check it out. So that's where we want to head to board the bus. This is the line. It goes way down there. It's about 6 or 7 rows deep. We're going to be here a while. So it's been a little over an hour. Made it through security. Now we're just waiting on get on the tour buses so we can head over to the research facility. They did give us a map. Looks like it's a pretty big place. It's going to take a while to get through. I will do as much as I can, but I do have to leave probably around like 4 so I can get home in time for Kristen so we could get some stuff done. So here we have their NASA hangar. They got a couple of the shuttles. That they use for simulations. You also have some model rockets and stuff. But we're going to walk around the whole facility. It's almost a campus. It's as big as a campus. Might as well be a college. And we will show you what we can. It is insanely busy here. There's going to be at least 100,000 people. Well more than they anticipated coming. But we're going to go on our first tour. It's the Propulsionary lab where they test full-scale engines. So let's check it out. So this right here is a GE J85 turbojet engine. It's one of many they test here. I'll walk around it. Not much going on in there. This is where they test the engines. The engines go inside there, and they were able to fire them up and test them. This is the outside of that test cell. Of course, that's where all the exhaust and fire and everything gets collected. On the average, you guys a lot of manufacturers. This is the other test cell that's in there. The height, that's right. So an aircraft. We'll go check out the inside of this one. Finally, we have sort of a working model of a T700 turbine engine. These are what's in like the Blackhawks and stuff. They test that stuff for the Army here too also. 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff! So that was a fun little demonstration on how propulsion works and rockets work. I will post the entire thing as a separate video so you guys can watch it if you want. But now we're headed over to the wind tunnel. So we'll see what's going on in there. So this is kind of how the wind tower works. They hook this thing up to a plane or a model plane. Bigger than this one, but this is just a model of the model. and then they run air across it and see how it reacts. So we're going to walk down the tunnel. This is all part of the air intake, and then down here is where the actual testing occurs. So here they have us walking through the air tunnel itself, and you can see it keeps getting smaller and smaller. The more you compress air, the faster the air goes, so they could simulate really quick air when it comes out the other end down here. Hopefully we'll be able to see something. I'm not sure what's all down there to see. So that's the actual testing area. They have a model engine in there. They're not actually doing testing since we're standing obviously in the tunnel. Still would be cool to watch. But too bad you can't, because you can't be in here. So now we're in the Zero Gravity Research Center. So we'll check this out and see what's going on in here.
Poster here is showing our drop tower. This drop tower is actually 432 feet below ground. So we have here just to show comparison of the drop tower with rise and center point. What this is telling you is it doesn't matter if you're going straight down or if you're going around the curve. You're experiencing the same thing the astronauts experience as they're falling around the Earth. So you have been on a roller coaster. As you go to the top hill, you feel like you're coming out of your seat. Or even when you're driving slow, if you're on a swing and you're swinging, you feel like you're about to come up. That's the same thing the astronauts experience. Think about when you throw a baseball. When you throw it, it does this curve. If you throw it harder, it still travels horizontally and curves. But if I was strong enough and I could throw a baseball at 17,500 miles an hour, it would continue to curve around the Earth. They're just at the right speed that they're basically falling around the Earth, because my friend puts it, they're missing the Earth. So it doesn't matter if you're falling around the Earth, falling around a curve, or falling straight down, you're still experiencing free fall. This allows us to do experiments in our drop tower. You see our drop tower is the same thing you're going to see on the space station. Part of the reason is, as this poster shows up here, candle flame, but the candle flame, due to things like buoyancy, you have hot air rising and cool air at the bottom. That's how it's supposed to get work. It detects that flame and the fuel. Well, when you're in free fall, where you don't have something heavy and lighter, remember you're falling at the same rate of gravity. The candle does is spherical shape. That's the shape things wants to be in nature. So as a result, we can't use it. We now have to find a different way to understand flame behavior. The folks back there actually setting a spacecraft on fire on purpose to see how flames behave. Straight down here is our drop tower, where you can look 432 feet straight down, as we call it, our big hole in the ground.
You can see it on there, but that's 400 feet down. By the time you get to 400 feet, you're at 0 degree gravity. That's kind of the schematic of what it is. So this cool looking building is the Acoustic Propulsion Laboratory. So this is where they test sound and everything from the propulsions in their jets. So this is just material that they line the entire dome with, and then when they run an engine, they could hear the volume of the propulsion all the way through the dome.
That's one thing you don't touch, okay?
So here you can test nozzles, and then you can test actual engines themselves, jet engines. It's another jet engine test area within the dome. So now we are in the graphics and visualization laboratory. So we're going to check this one out. It's nice because it's air conditioned in here. So if you hold the tablet over the picture,
So you see how you can change the angle.
creates
so
a 3D model
pretend
of
you're
it.
looking at the front of the plane with the camera. So tilt it forward so you can see more of it. Not like this. And you see how you can change the angle of which way you see the plane.
And it's all just looking at a picture. So this is how they could do 3D visual modeling.
The great thing with this kind of stuff is, so using the photogrammetry solution, they have a way to actually get all this information in 3D and real time. Whereas before they would essentially just have to set up cameras and record the test and then look at it. They'd only have a set number of angles, but with this they can see anything. So we can completely turn the model around, view any perspective of it. Thank you. Yeah, concept for so EVA space tools, so tools they would use working outside of the space station or spacecraft. So it's battery for that, so we're looking at the flow of temperature inside the battery.
I see. Oh, okay. Huh.
So mainly what they do in this building is how they visually represent all the tests they're doing. So this building collects all the data from all the other tests and turns them into the models, computer models that they could use to perform their analysis on. So that's a lot of what you see going on in here. So I am done mostly with the main campus. There's one more building I'd like to get to, which is actually the Engine Design Center. But right now I'm doing a half-mile walk down a big ravine and then back up it so I could get to what they call the west area. And there's more testing laboratories and stuff there that we get to see. So this is pretty much the research center. They do designs here, then they're manufactured off-site. They bring the test engines back and everything, and scale models and everything. Test them here, collect the data in the building you just saw, and then do all the analyzing. So when you see rockets and spaceships and stuff take off from Florida, all the research that went into designing those rockets occur here in Cleveland, Ohio. So it's a cool little facility they got here. So we are in the west area now, and I'm at the first building, which is the Telescience Support Center. This is their training facility. This is where John Glenn and all the astronauts that went up in that first launch trained, and where they currently do a lot of training for. Yeah, it's real-time operations and training, so this will be cool, I hope. So I wasn't able to film anything in the actual training center. There's just, the crowds are too big in certain areas and I wasn't able to film anything. They really didn't let you see much anyways. You really just seen the offices and stuff. So I made it over here to the electronic propulsion test lab. And here they test ionic and plasma engines. So we will check this stuff out a little bit.
2, 1.
So they're sucking air out of that tube and watching the marshmallow grow. So in all these different chambers, they could simulate zero gravity and test all their different engines out to see what they'll do in zero gravity conditions.
Bring that hole you got it here.
Built in 1961 too, so you know they were building up a little.
So they can put whatever they want inside there and test it.
So you take a nuclear reactor and create a lot of hydrogen, take that heat, so electricity. Can't use solar panels. You could, but you're not going to get a lot of use off.
So this is a nuclear reactor that they're trying to use for Mars.
Not here.
So this is the photocell laboratory where they work on solar energy, stuff like that, and fuel cells that tie into the solar energy. So that's your fuel cell right there. Running off of water. That's really cool. How this works is
Too much of the yellow stuff shows up.
you have your photocells collecting light.
How to get rid of
Changes water into hydrogen, oxygen, and electrolytes. Electrolytes reconverge here to produce electricity. So that's cool. So this is an example of the photocell that they have on the Land Rover. So this section right here. I think in the last building we go to, we get to see this Land Rover, because they were playing with it here when they developed it. So this is a roll-out photocell. Well, those are all photocells, and you could roll them out and roll them back in. So you could have a lot of photocells in a very small space for transport and extend it to collect electricity. So since they're doing so much research with alternative energies, they do have a couple model windmills here. Also this big satellite here. They do real-time interactions with the space station from the training center. So as they're doing experiments and stuff up in the space center, they're getting real-time results. They could be talking to the astronauts in real time. That's what that's used for. Headed over this way, just makes sense that they have a solar field. So this machine here can simulate atmospheric conditions on any planet or moon or anything. So they're using it right now to study Venus, because they're finding out that Venus has an atmosphere when it really shouldn't. So I'm beginning my half-mile walk back to the main campus. I got one more building to check out. I think we're doing pretty good on time. I will stop at the gift shop, pick up some stuff, and then head on home. But yeah, so far I like it. It's been a little hectic because it's so busy. They could have planned for that a little bit better, but not too bad. I'd definitely do it again if I make it to the 100th anniversary. So this is where they'll actually machine and make some of the components, the smaller components they need to test for the engines. So we'll walk around this building and see what all it has to offer. Here they could put different types of blades on different turbines and see how they react and work. This acts as the turbine, and then we'll come through here. The wind will make the fan spin, and they can collect the data from it.
In a modern fan anyhow, about 70% of the air comes through the fan and blows right out the back and doesn't even go through the core of the engine. That's where 70% of the propulsion comes through. About 30% of the air goes through here and is used to really make the energy that's needed to fly the plane. First thing, the air goes through the compressor section. The compressor is a bunch of blades. I don't know if you stop next door, but they do compressor research at the test cell next door. The compressor is a bunch of blades that spin and push in the air back to the back of the engine. As it goes back, the area reduces, so the air gets compressed. That compressed air is then routed into the combustor. In the combustor, fuel is injected continuously, and it burns continuously, like a big blowtorch sitting back there. That high pressure, high temperature air, the energy is extracted from that with the turbine. The turbine is what we research in here. The turbine, you think of the hot, high pressure air expands through the turbine. The turbine spins to extract the energy from the flow. The high pressure turbine is connected to the high pressure compressor through a shaft. The air continues to expand through the low pressure turbine. The low pressure turbine is connected through a separate shaft to the fan. That's what drives the engine. That's where most of the propulsion comes.
So those blades we've seen just prior to 2 clips ago are what they're testing in that first room. In this room they're testing the actual turbine that's used to create the energy. So this is where they test and design different tire bases and different layouts for things like the Mars rover. Mars rover was actually designed and tested here. But this is where they do wheel designs and layout testing. This is where they tested that fuel cell you've seen earlier. Over here are all the different tire designs that they've tested. So this is actually really cool. So here they do more turbine testing of different sizes and shapes and everything. So So this is all the different sensors and everything they use when they're testing the turbines. Collect readings and everything. So what they're testing here on these turbines are all these blades. What will happen if they come out with a new design? They will make them, throw them in there, and test them. There's different parts of engines. This is a space station docking seal, turbine ring, and these blades right here is what they're testing in that other room we just saw. Combusted turbine. This is the centrifuge. Compressor rotor. It's kind of where they all are at in the engine. So all the turbine and engine design is done here and tested here. This is probably my favorite building I've been to so far, because this stuff's really cool, at least in my opinion. So that's kind of it. That's everything. I'm going to go to their little makeshift store, souvenir store, pretty much a tent they set up and are selling stuff, see what I can find, and head back to the car. But I really enjoyed this. A little crowded, like I said a couple times already, but still enjoyed myself. Well, looks like I got another hour wait to get on the bus to go back to the car. That really sucks. But it is what it is. Well guys, I'm back on the road after waiting about 45 minutes to take the bus back to the parking lot. I'll be home probably about the same time Kristen will get home, maybe a little bit later. So that's a good thing. We'll be able to eat dinner together and probably just relax the rest of the night. I'm quite exhausted from walking around that place. It is a huge campus, and kind of sucks I wasn't able to show you so much of everything that was there. It was just the testing they do and everything, just down to the most minute things where they're testing vibrations and testing photocells and testing sound and testing everything. It's just really amazing what all they do there. I wish I could have recorded more. I wish I wasn't pushed through as fast as I was in certain areas so I could learn more. If you ever get a chance to go to any type of research center like this one, definitely go. Even if it's just for like half a day like I went. I was there for about 6 hours, and just soak in as much information you can. Again, this was really good. Glad they did it. I wish they did it more, but I know it costs a ton to do, so that's why they don't do it. But I will see you at home. So back at home, just finished dinner. Had some steak gum type sandwiches things. What would you call those, honey?
Steak-um?
Yeah. But that's
Philly
not...
cheesesteaks.
Philly cheesesteaks, that's what they were. Wow, am I tired? I don't understand, comprehend what's going on anymore. I'm going to edit this video. It's going to be a long one, about 30 minutes, 25-30 minutes. So I hope you enjoy it. Thumbs up if you like this kind of stuff. And I don't know how often we'll get to do this, but we'll try to find things like this that we can go do and see. And you can find us on all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram at The Rosh Vlog. Leave a comment below where you're watching from, and we will add you to our viewer map. We do that tomorrow. Tomorrow we're also going to do the 15 random question tag.
We are?
Yeah.
Oh.
So look forward to that.
Okay.
And we will see you tomorrow.
Good night.